Welcome. This, as you can see, is my custom Yeti. So I thought I would just do a quick bike check video because I have been getting a ton of questions and comments regarding this bike since it's only been out in the wild now for about a week. So I thought I would just do a quick video, let you know what I've done to it, let you know what I'm running on it to ride the straight up, straight down trails that we have here in the Sea to Sky. Let's get into it. We'll start with the frame first, obviously. So this is a Yeti SB150 in XL. I am 6'2" for reference. I tried a large and I just felt cramped. I just felt a little tight when I was seated and pedaling. So I went with the XL and dropped the stem. It's a big bike, but I'm a big dude. So obvious that things that we can talk about here on the frame is the custom, I don't know, call it a paint job because all we did was remove paint. So this is sanded down. Basically how I wanted it to look was kind of rat roddy, patinaed. I wanted it to look like a shitty paint job from afar, but when you got up close, you're like, oh my God. And it's amazing. The way the carbon and the carbon weaves and everything shine in the sun and the light is incredible. The geo and everything is still relevant. So I didn't feel the need to upgrade my bike. I do feel the need to buy stuff, but I didn't feel the need to upgrade my bike. I love it. It fits me great. The geo is amazing. So I just thought, how can I make it mine? And this is what I came up with. And I'm so happy that I did it. So let's start at the back. We'll move to the front. So it's running an EX511 DT Swiss rim on the back, 32 hole, and a 101 Industry 9 hub. It had a DT Swiss hub that came with the bike. I blew it up and it got sent off for warranty. It took like 9 months to get that hub, so I had to buy and build in the meantime to have a bike to ride. The good thing that DT Swiss did do was give me a new 350 hub as an upgrade for that warranty. So that's now my spare. Love it. The 101 has just enough buzz. I don't like a ton of buzz, so this has just enough buzz. I've got the GX cassette, probably need to replace that after this year, and the GX Axis drivetrain group set. So love that group set. Is it worth it still? That's another argument, but it has really grown on me in the last 2 years I've had it, and I'm gonna talk about that in another video because there is quirks, loves that have all come out in the last couple of years of using it, so I will get into that in another video. GX chain, we've got the turquoise 1-up chain guide on there, running a 30-tooth chain ring. That's as big as I ever want to go here in Whistler. There's people that run 34s, 36. I'm not one of those guys. I could go 28 and be happy. I don't use the, what do they call that? Is that the low end, the high end? Whatever end you would use riding a road downhill doing 60 clicks. We just don't do that around here. So the smaller the ring for me, the better, until I have the fitness to push a 34, which I don't. So we're gonna stick with 30. 30's perfect. This was my big splurge last year, the titanium E-wings. So the Cane Creek cranks, I love them. So as well as shaving, I think 3/4 of a pound off the build, I went from 175 to a 165 crank. Didn't notice a ton in my pedaling stroke, more so noticed clearance. I noticed that more than the pedaling stroke and power, loss, gains, whatever. I didn't really notice a ton of that. One of the kind of question marks around this build, because it's an amazing bike, super blingy, is my composite pedals. And I have them on every bike. I love them. Bang for buck. The 1-up composites are unreal. So one, they're cheap. You can buy 4 pairs for the price of an aluminum. 2, they're lightweight, generally lighter than all the other aluminums out there. Maybe some of the magnesium ones are lighter. 3, they don't show the battle scars. And I mean, you can wear battle scars with pride too, but they look the same essentially as when you get them. There's no paint to shear off. It's all colored right through the nylon composite. So whether that is worthy of this kind of build, I don't know, but that's what I'm running right now, debating on whether to get new ones. We have got a 210 mil 1-up dropper post with the 1-up lever. Love it, can slam it and raise it to perfect riding height without having to shim or do anything. The 210 just worked perfect for me. I've got this Chromag saddle on here, the Lynx DT. I've had it for 2 years, 3 years, and I've never liked it. So I go numb, and that's what makes it tolerable. So I am actually looking at SQ Lab or the Bike Yoke Sagmas to replace it. One of the other things I noticed with this saddle is I slide off the back. It's super slippery, so I'm actually might sand it or put something on there until I find one of those saddles to keep me from sliding off the back. Love Cro-Mag, but one size fits all saddle approach to me. So where do we go from here? The suspension stock came with the bike. I got a 36 on the front, X2 on the back. The only thing done with these is the shiny new dials, the new orange dials that Fox sent me to put on when I had my suspension serviced by them. I've never run a 38. I've never tried a 38. So they say ignorance is bliss, but never once have I thought that the 36 didn't track well enough, wasn't stiff enough, it was laterally too flexible. I've never thought that. So I've never had any desire to get on a 38. So the 36 for me is fine. I'm a big dude. I don't know, maybe I'm not as perceptive as some people, and maybe a lot of the mistakes that I make that I blame on myself, I should be blaming on my fork. I don't know. One of the only stock things on this bike is the front wheel and hub. So DT Swiss hub, DT Swiss M1900 wheel, assegais on both front and back. That might change. So I've got an Exo Plus on the front, double down on the back. Great, max grip both, because I would sacrifice rolling resistance any day of the week to have all the grip that I can on the ups and the downs. The only thing I'm noticing with this rear assegai is that it's a 2.5. Everything else I've run is a 2.4, so it's hitting the stays. This Yeti has pretty flexy stays and not a lot of clearance. So I think I might go back to a 2.4 DHR2 in the max grip compound. I've only run this for about a week, so we'll see. But it seems to be rubbing quite a bit. And cockpit, did I get into the cockpit? We've got a 1-up carbon bar, 35 rise, 35 clamp stem, 35 length stem, love them. Cannot talk about the compliance of the 1-up bar yet, I haven't been on it enough, although I will say it does seem to mute things or not feel as harsh, but again, who knows. Ergon grips, which have been amazing, but might change out. I'm really liking the flangeless, thick, soft DMR death grips, so I might put some of those on. Saint levers, Z calipers, Blue Z lever, so just replace them both with Saints. Love it. 220 millimeter Galfer rotor on the front, 203 Ice Tech rotor on the rear. Amazing, and I have noticed the difference with the 220 mil rotor. Being a bigger dude, just a little more control, it seems, when I need to shut it down quickly. Instead of like a jerky panic, I can actually deal with things a little bit easier. We're gonna be doing a lot of comparisons with this bike versus the Yeti SB150, same frame size, versus the XL YT2S. So we're gonna have all those comparisons coming up, and I'm really excited to get into that. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.